Hey everyone, I'm Kunaal.
And I'm Lance Jordan.
We are two nerds who decided to start a podcast in 2020 due to the pandemic. No topic is necessarily off the table, and we'd like you to join us in hearing our thoughts on various topics, ranging from anime to Zeppelins. We have it all. Here we go.
All right. So we're back for the final episode of the year of They Need a Hobby podcast. As always, this is Lance Jordan, joined by my trusty co-host, Kunaal.
What's up? How y'all doing?
We have a guest in the building. Well, not in the building, but joining us on Zoom. The illustrious George Collins of the WHOMST Podcast. George.
Hello. Thanks for having me for the first time.
Hey,
yes.
We are excited to get to know you.
The first time. There's an inside joke there, but we won't go down that rabbit hole.
Right. If you stick with us, you'll find out.
Yeah, we'll release a really messed up version of that one episode.
Yeah.
The hidden episode when we all make it off a podcast.
Yeah.
We'll release the hidden gem.
But thanks for having me, man. For real.
If you haven't already, definitely check out the WHOMST Podcast. Do you do them every week, George, or how's that set up?
Yeah, whenever I'm off, I try to do it at least once a week. Right now, I'm actually doing 2 episodes a week. I got 2 shows, the WHOMST and the Gammy podcast, which is one is for nerdy stuff, one is for more random news stuff. But either way, it's still me talking to myself.
Would you say like one's more for like spitting on the mic and getting it drenched, and the other one's just for like satisfying the gaming inside of you?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, that is exciting. So with this one, to wrap up the year, we wanted to do, just a recap of the year, just things that we saw that were good, the bad, the ugly, the idiotic, the brilliant, the fantastic. And George, being our guest, why don't you kick it off with something you saw that was like bad or just idiotic, anything you saw this year?
People... you know what? I'm gonna say the first thing is media kind of scaring people. That's kind of the idiotic thing all year.
I 100% agree with that.
It's like I try to say it on my show and try to like tell all my listeners like, yo, like don't let media keep scaring people. We need to like make some type of steps to like make them accountable for how we handled Corona all year anyway. Because it's just I'm not trying to be like on my I'll make it quick, but. Yeah. It's a vicious cycle. It's just them lying that stuff is running out, because stuff might be running out, but no one knows if stuff is running out until they scare people, which makes items like tissue and water actually run out. Now, when they do say it, now it's true, but it's because of them. So it's like that's just one of the main things I wanted to tell people. Like, kind of take everything on the news, Fox, whoever you listen to, everyone kind of there for the clicks. So kind of like just take it with a grain of salt. Do your own research.
I totally agree with that. Like one of my friends and actually one of my instructors in martial arts is on the coronavirus like response team in St. Louis, and he is like, yes, this is a big deal. Yes, it is a virus that we don't have a vaccine yet, but we are working and we're close to it. No, they should not have a kill count on the news every day.
Yes, exactly.
Because that is just fear mongering, and it's just stupid, and it's creating more hysteria every damn day.
Right. Like, I'm not saying like don't just ignore it and just stuff like that, but like you said, like having a number up there and it's constantly getting bigger is not going to help anybody. So like, what's the point?
Exactly.
Yeah, I would say add on to that point. In the beginning of this, right, there was a lot of misinformation. As the media, you would expect them to do their research and have all these things kind of worked out beforehand. But I would say definitely a lot of things were just like thrown out there before they were fact checked. And by the time you got to some of the real issues or some of the things that work to effectively treat coronavirus, right, it was like the myths were like already out there and people already believed it, and you couldn't change their minds at all.
Well, it's already set in stone. People already believe a certain race did it already and all this stuff. It's ridiculous.
Early on in the coronavirus, I remember just following social media and Black people being like, Black people can't catch coronavirus. And so like they were like immune, like this is a white person's disease. I remember seeing this and like I just remember like that following week or maybe a couple of days, the numbers that came out in like the Black community were very startling. And I don't think Black people took it seriously until like Black celebrities and athletes caught it.
Right.
I think Idris Elba was like one of the first big ones. He was talking about like, he's like, yeah, my wife and I are just watching Naruto and kicking back right now, just staying down. And I'm like, hold up, you're watching anime? Like that was the thing that got me the most.
Oh, you was for real? I thought you was lying.
No, I'm dead serious. Like he actually was like, yeah, we're watching Naruto. We're thinking about watching Boruto afterwards, but we'll see what happens. And I'm like, okay, Idris just went up in my book.
Okay, Black James Bond, I got you.
But about the Black people not getting coronavirus, that's true. It's a shame that we took it as a meme, and they only took a celebrity for us to get serious about it, kinda.
Right.
Yeah.
Not to like start the show off dark, but like I guess get it out the way.
No color here. We're all dark here.
We're all dark. This is a nice little encapsule of color here. You know, we go to light to medium to dark. Man, Kunal's terrible. Kunal, what did you see? Well, he's 11. What did you see that was bad this year?
Where to fucking start? Like seriously, man. Definitely just Corona in general, like blowing up everyone's plans. So it doesn't hit the States really until we don't hear about it really until like end January, beginning of February. Yeah, I think. And then I remember like because I saw a post that made me think about this. I was like, we survived, our generation, because we're all around the same age. West Nile virus, bird flu, swine flu, everything, you name it, and we're still here. And I'm like, they're just blowing out of proportion. It's fine. Yeah. Don't worry about it. Right. I had a trip planned to Peru. I was going to go to Machu Picchu. Like I had a buddy who was there and was like ready to like, hey, I can show you around. We can stay at places together. Like I was so excited. I had sinus surgery, and then I sprained my wrist. It's a lot better now. So I looked like I got mugged for like 2 months. Nice. And I was like doing it. I'm like, oh yeah, we should totally go over here. Like coughing up blood and throwing it away inside. And then I was like, yeah, we can totally do this. And click. I'm like, I'm so looking forward to this. And then Italy shuts down its borders. And my dad calls me. He's like, I think you should reschedule your trip. And I'm like, I think you're right.
Right. Especially how you looked. You was like coughing and shit. Like you look like patient zero. Like,
yeah.
No, I got mugged. No.
I stopped coughing blood, I think, like after a week or so. And so my brother was like, you look like, I don't even know what to say to you. I'm like, I look like I entered a Street Fighter tournament, but I did this to myself. Like, this is totally me. I was not that cool. I went home and was a family man instead. So it's all good. Reference out there for Street Fighter fans. You know what I'm talking about. So that was probably the worst thing of just destroying everybody's plans this year, which is pretty generic. But
everybody had to learn how to be their own company.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you learned that not a lot of people know how.
Yeah. Lance, what's yours? What's the worst part for you this year?
I'm going to touch on something a friend left in a comment. Shout out Christy Ryan. Mental health. I mean, that definitely played a toll on a lot of people this year. And I remember, right, like the first shutdown, like the first few weeks, I was being reached out to by like people I haven't talked to in a long time, and like coworkers from work were like finding me and adding me on social media to, check on me, see how I was doing. And I was like, reciprocating that.
That's really sweet.
That feeling. I know, sweet guy.
You are a sweet guy.
Yeah, people actually care about you.
Right. I mean, that is the thing. Well, I guess that's a good thing in it, that you were like, people were trying to find those support systems, but it was like it was bad that we allowed ourselves to like, I guess, not have those support systems, and we weren't prepared for this. And then, of course, mentally, how it affected some people who tragically, took their lives. Ooh. And I would say from experience, just like those first few weeks, I mean, it kind of hit me immediately where I was thinking, like, I rely on my job. Like, it just kind of hit me like, I really need this job as much as like I hate it, complain about it sometimes. Like I needed to pay my bills, right? Like I needed to do all the things I enjoy. So, for me, that was like, I need to get out of this house and become an essential worker, essentially,
Right.
and then even that label, right? And this is no diss to essential workers at all, but to label people, that label that came out, you're an essential worker, which is great for some, but then like bad for others, like who did like unfortunately lose their job. Like, so I'm not essential. Like what I do isn't important. Yeah. So, that was something this year where I was like, man, that's low. And I don't know if you guys can speak on, any mental health that you experience.
I mean, for me, it's, we've alluded to this in other podcasts, but since we're on the topic, I mean, definitely have diagnosed with general anxiety since I was 17 and medium depression, which is much more under control now. It hit me pretty hard. Not right away. It took it took like a week or two.
From your mansion.
Well, I didn't live there at that time.
Oh yeah.
I moved in this place like 6 months later. Leave me alone.
Shit,
And I actually broke up with someone, then got sick. I had a really bad cough, and I was like, I have corona. Like, I'm gonna die. And then my doctor's like, I think you'll be fine. I don't know if you have corona, because this is when they had the scarcity of tests. He's like, just go home, quarantine, you'll be fine. Here's some prednisone to help it speed along. And I was like, cool. So I just caught up on old shows, and then it hit me like a wrecking ball, where I was just like, I've done everything. I've worked out today, cleaned and all this stuff. Why can't I go to sleep? And I was talking to my dad, and he was like, Kunaal, you haven't left your apartment for 3 days. I'm like, oh, that's a good point. Old man has some points every once in a while.
I mean,
yeah.
Check on you.
Yeah, like that's the thing. And like there was one incident that happened where someone knocked on my door, and I answered it, and she was like, hey, I found these keys out front and they have your apartment number. And I was like, oh, thanks. And she left, and I got the keys, and immediately my throat went dry, and I'm like, did I just catch corona? I'm like, what's going on? And I was like, well, I gotta go destroy all the cells in my throat. So I went and grabbed some vodka and chugged it real quick.
Oh damn!
Yeah, it got intense quick, and I was like, okay, I need to take a nap.
I think half of it is just like overthinking it too.
Oh man, that's what I do.
So it's like you ruin yourself trying to the moment you think you gotta have somebody cough near you, start freaking out and shit.
Yeah, like everything is like our nerves are just so frayed this year.
I mean, that might be the cure too. You might have solved it.
It's like,
well, the thing is, George,
keep a constant bottle of vodka around you.
A bottle of vodka. I like that.
Like, don't inject yourself with Clorox. Just use
vodka.
Just use Smirnoff's double distilled vodka.
Bleach's little brother.
Pretty much, yeah. I was like, okay, it's time for some water, and I ate something, and I'm like, I need to call my parents and just talk to them, and I was a lot better after that. So
that's good, man.
But what about you, George? I guess, were you an essential worker at the time? But I know you do stand up. Did that affect you at all? The whole.
Well, I haven't done stand up really at all. Most of the year, maybe like at tops 10 mics, something like that. But I kind of just gave up on a year. I'm just gonna wait until next year. But yeah, I've been an essential worker the whole time, working at Sam's Club, and I mean, like you said, complaining about the place, and like, you know what, I'm gonna quit this place. I don't care. Send me home. I don't care if I get the Rona. Send me home. But at the same time, it's like, you know how these corporations are. So you like, yeah, are they gonna pay for me to leave? So it's like, what, are they just gonna get rid of me? Find some like loophole to get rid of me? I ain't gonna have no job. I'm gonna be, how is my roommates gonna take it? Or are they gonna freak out? You'll think they wouldn't. Be a human and won't kick you out, but like, yeah, you still got that in the back of your mind. Like, yo, they gonna kick me out because they don't want to die and all that shit. So it's like, you got all that on your mind. So it's like, oh, if I get the cough, should I tell anybody? Should I just try to take care of it? Should I just tough it out? It's just a bunch of stuff. So I feel it. I've been there.
Well, I'm glad you're hanging in there, man.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Hey, that's all we can do. That's another thing too. It's take it easy on yourself.
Let's swap it to something good now.
Let's definitely get into something good.
Let's fucking do that.
Who want to kick it off? Who's kicking it off?
I mean, one of y'all can go.
I can go.
Yeah.
Something good. I mean, I think it was good for companies and good for us in the long run. I was gonna say with these movie theaters, like and companies like deciding to not release their big blockbusters this year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, streaming definitely. They were on the top of their game, but I actually think it was a genius move by Marvel to not release Black Widow this year because I feel like it won't do the numbers that it needs to do, and sending it to streaming wouldn't do it justice.
In terms of getting swallowed up and everything else.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that would happen with Tenet. I mean, I don't know how well Tenet did. I'm pretty sure it's the best movie that released this year that did numbers, but
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's the only movie. That
yeah,
came out, so
exactly.
it's kinda like, movie of the year. It's like,
Exactly, but I'm just wondering, like in the grand scheme of things, like did it do what it was supposed to do?
Yeah.
Or, like
Nolan's been under fire for doing that this year too.
The theaters are kind of mad about the HBO Max, I believe.
yeah,
Like they made the decision of we're gonna start streaming on our movies starting next year, and they was like, hey, you didn't tell us. Like what's going on, bro? Like, hey, you don't want to send us a text or something, man? Like, damn.
like so they
yeah, send a courtesy text.
Yeah, something like, oh, you finna ruin your whole career, bro.
Put some
None.
emojis in it. Yeah. It's just
Yeah.
But isn't that like with the world we're going to? I mean, I think it's genius, and I think like in the long run, I would rather have a streaming service or a platform that's just going to show me all the movies than me having to go to a theater. If I just have to pay like a monthly fee and that be the end of it, and I can see whatever movie that came out in theaters, I'm okay with that. I think that's a good move. But
yeah, like there is a cool thing. Like streaming definitely is going to be the future. Like Conan O'Brien's doing a good job of pivoting to just streaming. Once we get the vaccine and things go to somewhat back to normal, I'm gonna like going to the movie theater is just nice. You get to get out of your house, go with your friends. Kind of it's a social adventure. Getting food afterwards, get food before.
Sneak food in.
Sneak food in, sneak snacks in.
Yeah.
Get those Skittles.
I mean, they'll probably get more people if they just like cut the prices a little bit. Like, Jesus. Yeah, I get you got to make your money, but like, yeah, you got to make some cuts somewhere if you want people to come back.
Come on, man. You can't afford $50 for some popcorn.
No.
Very cheap. Very cheap.
Some very expensive stale popcorn.
Yeah.
That's why you go early. You go to the matinee.
Matinee.
Black people never heard of the matinee. I always wanted.
Oh, I know. Oh, I'm aware. Cheaper Sunday mornings.
My mom always just she loves going to watch movies with us. Like I remember very fond memories of my mom just going, "Oh, Kunaal, would you like to see the matinee show today?" Because she grew up in India, so like they speak British English too. She's like, "Oh, the matinee show today." I'm like, "What's that?" And she's like, "It's the early show on Sunday." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, let's do it." Sorry, fond memories.
No. Oh, no. Memory lane, man. I get you.
But I saw your face when I said Black Widow. Like, do you think it should have released this year, George?
I thought it did release. I knew I wasn't gonna go watch it anyway. So, like for no reason at all. It's just like I didn't want to watch it, but I thought it kind of came out and just didn't do as well as they thought because of this. But I didn't know they held on to it. So.
Oh yeah, they're holding on to that baby.
I mean, honestly, it should have been released like years ago.
Yeah, I mean the order. I mean, if we're looking at Marvel in the grand scheme, the order of it is kind of confusing.
It's very confusing.
Yeah.
Because her character is dead, and apparently this is supposed to be a clone of her. Like
Wait, what?
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like I've heard. Have you heard about that too?
I thought it took place in
the
somewhere
past.
between like after Civil War. That's where I thought it was.
Oh, it might be. I thought. I heard somebody say that she was a clone. I could be.
She was a
completely wrong.
clone.
Yeah.
I mean, she could be.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past her. But
It's not out of Marvel's realm for sure.
definitely
Is that why she didn't have eyebrows?
not.
That's how you can tell.
You could tell. Oh shit. Kunaal, what did you see this?
Yeah, the things that come out, things that are good this year that have come out from this year. I initially was going to say The Mandalorian, but I also, before I go into that, I would say like definitely well, one, this podcast started because of it. People starting podcasts, people starting projects and businesses and taking risks like that, I think is really cool. That's been a good product of this year, for better or for worse. As for anything else, I would say The Mandalorian. It renewed my faith in Star Wars because I'm a much bigger Star Trek fan, but like this showed me that they can actually have good writing and good lore and bring interest, because like I am really considering watching Star Wars, Clone Wars and Rebels after this, because there's so much there that's unspoken. And I was actually talking to a friend about this earlier today. Jedi's and their fights and their telekinetic abilities are awesome. The Force is awesome, but I don't want to watch a show that just has Jedi's. I want to watch a show that has more about the story behind it, like the Mandalorian Creed and Mandalorians. Like, and apparently we find out, spoilers. Pause. Okay, that there's that there's there's political factions of the Mandalorians. Like there's not just one Jango Fett and the rest of his crew. Like there's different stuff. Plus, cool fact, in some of the martial arts groups that I work with, one of them got the ability to get one of the. So she's the Forge Master in the early episodes of The Mandalorian, season 1. She's the one who gives him the crest and everything. So we were able to have a Zoom conference with Stunt Double, and that was cool.
That's nice.
Yeah, shout out to Lauren Mary Kim, and I got to ask her a question too at the very end, because I was like, "Hey, I gotta ask you," because she was totally using Kali the entire time. He's holding two like weapons in her hands. And I was like, is it hard, like, fighting in the helmet? And she like stopped, and she's like, oh my gosh, it's terribly hard. I'm like, I don't know where my punches are going half the time. I just hope the stunt guys are catching it or dodging in the right time. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool.
I'm gonna have to share a video with you, because I seen her in like a YouTube video getting interviewed by some CGI.
Yeah, the mocap.
Yeah, there you go.
You're talking about her and Ray Park, right?
Yep, exactly. Yeah, she was talking exactly that. Yeah.
Exactly. Like and then in that one, she's using Kali as well. And I thought that was really cool too. So, because she got referred to by Amy Jo Johnson, who was in Lady Bloodsport, I think. Yeah. And there's a YouTube short called Lady Bloodfight. It's this tiny blonde white girl who just kicks immeasurable ass.
We had to trade YouTube links.
Please do. Please do. YouTube. But yeah, The Mandalorian, which is great because it's just like a wolf and cub space western. That was really cool. It's been really, really good. They've done that really well. They brought.
We actually got a new episode today. I need to watch.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. Crazy good writing, crazy good guest stars, crazy everything. I love it.
That's like the one show that I don't mind like social media spoiling, because I know I'm still going to watch it regardless.
Because like the presentation's so good.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's definitely one of the better shows that came out of this year.
Oh my god.
I wish they did that with I felt that way with Dragon Ball Super when it was on. Mm-hmm. I couldn't be on Twitter. No, the manga right now currently.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
You cannot be on Twitter at all. Like the last like 3 or 4 days before they release the next manga chapter, because of course everyone for some reason got all the pages. Like, where did you find it? Like, so what? Let us be. You won't be happy about. You won't be surprised because you spoiling it for everybody.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
That's why Ultra Instinct didn't hit me as hard, because I knew about it 3 months before. Like,
I hear you. That's one of my things when people would tell me about Game of Thrones. I'm like, I already know everything. Like, everyone spoiled everything the Monday after, and people are like, but you haven't seen this season. I'm like, oh, you mean when like you find out that Jon Snow is a Targaryen? They're like, yeah. I'm like, oh yeah, because y'all ruined it.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
Well, call me.
Exactly.
I got one good thing.
Go for it.
It's not really anything that happened this year. It's kind of a joke. In the beginning of the year, when the whole pandemic started, and then people was kind of going crazy for the tissue and whatnot, O.J. Simpson had just got his Twitter
for the first time.
And I followed him immediately because why not? I just want to see what's going on. Like, why is he on Twitter for? All right. So once people started like shopping for tissue and stuff like that, this asshole, he shared the video of him in the Bronco back in the day when he was getting chased by the police. Like, he shared that video and said, "Oh, on my way to go get some tissue." I'm like, this dude.
OJ might be the greatest comedian of all time.
Perfect. They're like comedy gold. Perfect.
Oh my goodness.
And of course, later on, he takes a picture outside of Costco with the tissue and whatnot. And I think he retweeted it because he didn't do it. But he had all the tissue and stuff on the card, but somebody edited a knife and a glove on the card as well. And he retweeted it. I'm like, what are you doing, man?
The statutes of limitation is up on OJ.
Yeah, like double jeopardy. He can't do anything.
He got away with it, I guess. Whatever happened, but
I mean, what are you gonna do if the juice walks up to you and like, hand me your toilet paper? Like, are you gonna refuse him?
I'm like, all right, here you go.
I asked him for at least one.
Right.
I like my life. You can just take my toilet paper and leave me alone.
I'm gonna load it in the Bronco. The accessory.
You need help with that, man? Yeah.
You look in the Bronco, it's like blood everywhere.
I heard about him getting on
Stained
Twitter.
blood.
Like, OJ, this shit stinks. Like, you didn't clean this shit.
You didn't think?
I heard about being on Twitter and him giving like football advice or his thoughts on football. Have you guys heard about that too at all?
All I came for the jokes on the murder.
For the
Okay,
jokes.
cool. Because like I find that to be a joke in the first place. I'm like, whoa. Like the fact that you're giving
advice on football
after being out of the game for like what 30, 40 years.
Yeah, the game has changed.
Yeah, I bet. If anything.
Yeah. But he still, he received his awards in the sport, I guess.
Of sorts.
It's kind of like Mike Tyson giving someone
Shit.
boxing advice, which that can fall in a idiotic thing I've seen this year, but then like a brilliant thing because I guess
it's a very interesting guy.
Mike Tyson is like, you can say what you want, but I think he's really smart, and I guess he made his money this year.
He's
fighting and podcasting, but
Hot Box with Mike Tyson. I love that show.
I haven't watched it yet.
It's so good. It's so good. He's had people from like William Shatner to like the guy that was going around. He had Sugar Ray on there too. Yeah, he's had a bunch of people on that podcast where like you really see like I'm not denying bad things that he did in the past, but like everyone thinks of him as this idiot, and he just has a speech impediment. He's actually really brilliant, just in terms of fighter, normal human being, and it's just fun to hear him talk all the time, man. Like you're Captain Cook, man. Like Eddie Murphy talked about you, and like it's just fucking great.
Very terrifying, man.
You're gonna be in the next fight with Mike Tyson. After you hear this, he's gonna be like, "I want Kunaal."
He's like, "I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna teach a brown little kid. He's gonna get him out there, get him in the ring, get him jacked. He's gonna be unstoppable. Gonna turn him into. He's a really nice guy, though.
I'll get it. I'll get in there.
You can get in there with Mike Tyson.
I ain't gonna get hit by Mike. He's gonna knock me out.
Hey, all you need is one.
You got to think of that payday, though.
I mean, is it worth my beautiful face? No,
maybe.
Hey man, you can fix that shit.
No.
With that money, you could get the surgery and have a little left over.
This isn't altered carbon. It can't just get a new body.
Get enhancements.
You know how they like do dramatic flips when they when Stone Cold would do a stunner? I'll do that the moment I get punched.
You do the Rock where you just like flip over on your head and then bounce around the ropes.
Yes.
As long as I can get wear a neck brace going into the fight, I'll consider it.
Man, he'll hit you right in the neck.
Oh shit!
It was just so cushiony. I couldn't resist, man. I'm sorry. Have I not done my Mike Tyson in front of you?
No.
He gonna do it for like the next week.
Hey Lance, how you doing, man? What's our next podcast gonna be about? I'm sorry, Lance.
When Mike Tyson comes, I'm just saying I didn't prove that Mike.
But speaking of boxing though, Mayweather's gonna fight Logan Paul. You know what's kind of scary though?
Yeah.
Mayweather's so much about money that I fear he might jeopardize his stuff for the money.
Yeah.
The amount of money that's gonna bring in, I think he'll take a drop for his career. He's already retired. Who cares? He already got money.
Yeah.
Like he'll probably drop for Logan.
I don't know if he'll drop for Logan, but I think you're right in that what's on the line at this point is like his legacy.
Yeah.
I think it will be like a serious fighter. I think it will be like another UFC guy, maybe that the money is just right for, and he'll fight him, and then like he'll get beat.
I just don't understand why he took it though. It's like he has nothing to gain from this. Like, I guess money, but like everything else is like 99% of the whole post of this is like, if he lose or he makes a draw or he makes it to the end of the fight, he has to go through judges, he loses.
Yeah.
Basically.
It has to be like unanimous, kind of like he destroyed him or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he purposely was playing with him, but everything else he lost. He loses his reputation a little bit.
Oh, it was like with McGregor, like with that whole craziness, everyone kind of was like, okay, he has grappling and stuff like that. So if Floyd's giving some trouble, then so be it. We'll accept that. But this is just I've never been more excited for a wife beater to beat up a YouTuber. I've never been more excited. I can't believe that I'm actually somewhat excited.
I mean, because he's just as much as trash as him. So it's like,
But he wins at the end of this. Logan Paul wins. He's going to be the biggest winner out of the whole thing. You know, whether you like him or not. It's like, he wins.
He gets knocked out. I mean, he fought Mayweather. We kind of expected it.
And he got a huge payday for it.
Huge.
I mean, and that's the thing.
That's crazy, though. Like, not even 2 years ago. 2-3 years ago, he was the guy posting videos about dead bodies and stuff.
In Japan, I heard about that. Yeah, that was,
Now he's going to make a couple million getting knocked out.
America's a fun place to be.
Good.
We're doing something wrong, guys. That's all I'm saying.
I need to be more of an asshole, apparently.
I need to be more toxic.
That's where the money is.
Yeah, that's part of the reason why this country is so fucked up.
Well, I think we pretty much covered it. Our year-ending episode. Yeah. For us, the They Need a Hobby podcast will be back next year. George, tell the people where they can find you and hear that voice of yours.
If you for some reason want to follow me, you can find me on Instagram at regular ass George, or the podcast. The domain is finna go, so you can just search the WHOMST, WHOMST, and it's on all podcast platforms. So there you go. That's it.
First of all, thanks for coming on today. Today's been fun. Today's been a great day. Great day to just relax for me personally. I don't know how.
Yeah, but this has been great.
Cool.
Long time coming.
Indeed. Indeed. And but like, if you ever want to just, you have to listen to the episodes that you do weekly, because like the episodes that George does, he gets up on the mic and he just spits it. Like whatever is on his mind, he just goes. It's an awesome combination of just like daily news, and then all of a sudden, like, yeah, man, it's like Goku and Vegeta, and I'm like, what? And then it's like you immediately got my attention. Immediately, you make me
nerdy
laugh.
Rambling.
Like I was on the floor just like relaxing and stretching a little bit, and had a stressful day, and I was listening to your podcast, and I just started cracking up. So thank you for that. You helped me de-stress quite a bit.
I appreciate it, man. I'm glad someone listens to it.
The viewership is all Kunaal.
Yeah.
It's just one dude, but it's like 3 different accounts or something like that.
Just a bunch of views. I'm like, hey, where did this come from?
He's like, he's a strange little brown kid. He's like, follow me all the time.
Start doing live shows. It's just him.
I'm making it rain just in the background, donating stuff to you.
Like, thank you. And it's not depressing.
All right. That's it. Thanks again for listening. This has been the They Need a Hobby podcast.
Season 1. Thank you for being with us. And we look forward to season 2.
Bye-bye.
Hey fan peeps, thanks for joining, and as always, we appreciate any feedback. You can follow us on our Facebook page, They Need a Hobby, and also at TNAH Pod on Instagram and Twitter.
Hopefully one day we'll find a hobby and maybe even be one of the cool kids. Peace.
All right, get off the mic. Next,
we're on the mic. We're lovingly on the mic together.
Stop that.
Can't stop it, mates. That's who I am.